Hello, hello, my awesome family. How are you doing? This is the host of our music show, and I am delighted to go live one more time. A little bit behind schedule, but beyond our control at this moment, and we are grateful to go live one more time. As usual, it's another awesome day given to us by an awesome God to do some awesome things. I hope wherever you're logging on from today that you're doing great and your day is going well. We're live. We're live. Thank you so much, Rick Bradley, for joining. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. Florida representing. For all those who are logging on the other platforms, thank you so much for logging on and for sharing with us on the awesome platform. On a Friday, it's the awesome spotlight where we interview someone from a different profession, from the music fraternity. Today we go medical. We're going in the medical field today. We're going to be talking to a very good friend of mine who is in the medical field. But we want to thank you so much for your support for this show. As most of you would know, we have been nominated in the 2022 ABGME Awards. That's an award that will be happening in November in Antigua. And the Awesome Music Show has been nominated. Voting stopped on the 31st of July, but the results will be published in November. So we look forward to great results for that, and we continue to blaze the trail. The show is being sponsored tonight by a new business venture, the Awesome Travel Zone, and that's my new business venture. You can contact us, the Awesome Travel Zone, at gmail.com or check out our website, awesometravelzone.intellitravel.uk. You can check that out as well. All right, thank you so much. So we look forward to a great show. We are going to be live again on Monday, on Wednesday of next week, and Friday. We're going to be having another special guest in the house. So today we have a very special guest with us, and she is going to be sharing some really good nuggets with us. She has a she has a pending PhD in microbiology from the Howard University. She also has a bachelor's in biology with business admin as a minor. She's also a singer and songwriter. I speak of no other person tonight than my special guest, Chantel Graham Hyatt. How are you doing, Doc?
Hi everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us on this show. It's been a while and it's really good that you could join us. I know you have so much going on for you at this time, but it's really good to have you join. How are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. All right, so this is one of those shows that on a Friday we go deep in an interview and we always have someone in the spotlight. And thank you for being in the spotlight today because we know that being a medical student, your schedule can really be tight and a lot of things can come into play. But you have been here with us and it's really good that you can join us today. We're off for a late start, but we're still happy that we can get this off. And I know it's going to go well and we're going to be covering a couple of stuff here today. I hope let me know if my audio is still fine.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so I'd love to hear a little bit about your background. I met you several years ago, but for the listeners who don't know you and those who are viewing, tell us a little bit about your background. What were you like when you were growing up? You know, the little things that a lot of people may not know. They may see you on the street,
We're
you know. So,
welcome.
yeah.
Hi listeners. So my name is SHANTOL Graham HYATT and I'm from Kingston, Jamaica. Specifically Manny Meadows, which is closest to Raytown, the fishing village that's located in Jamaica.
Yeah.
My high school is Holy Child High School, and I think that was where my footprints started, where the greatness was redefined for me on this path. I am currently now in the United States at the top, one of the top Black Ivy schools in America, specifically Howard University. where I'm studying medical microbiology in the School of Medicine, and it has been great. If you have any more questions throughout the show, you can surely send it to Dwayne, and he will definitely ask in person.
Okay, okay, great, great, great. So you're a Kingstonian, it's not like some other persons who they were moving things about were raised in the country area and stuff. So that's really good. Great. And you are from an area that's really popular with so a lot of people know that the 15 days and everything. So that's really good. All right. So in terms of your choice though, I'm hearing let me just try. All right, I'm hearing feedback. So I'm gonna just remove the screen and then just bring it back on. I'm
Okay.
trying to get that feedback. Just for a second. All right, so we're having a little bit of feedback from our guest, so we're just gonna ask her to rejoin as we talk to her. She's in the medical field, and doctors study for a minimum 7 years, and I've been told that some of them can do additional studies more than 7 years. So it's really, really good to have her on the show today. Sometimes we have some technical difficulties that we're not even able to figure out on the back end, but let's see what happens when she joins. So we're talking to medical doctor in training, SHANTOL from HYATT, and she is my very, very special guest on the awesome spotlight today. All right, so still here and the feedback, but let's try to run ahead with this
You hear
just
me better
today.
now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but there was just a little feedback in the background, but that's fine. We're just gonna work with it. All right.
Okay.
So growing up in Kingston, at what point what was medicine your first choice, or you had some other love for some other profession before medicine?
So initially, uh, right after high school, I was adamant that I wanted to do marine scientist. So I
Mm-hmm.
was on the path of becoming a marine biologist, but
Yeah.
something profound happened that led me to a path towards medicine and research. So I had a
Mm-hmm.
best friend growing up, and there was an incident one day on a bus. I don't know if many of you recalled, but there was an incident on a bus where a young lady and a gentleman who happens to be the bus conductor got into an argument, and he slammed her neck against the iron post of the door. And as a result of that, she developed brain cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And not even 2 years later, she passed. So that's where my sense of passion came from. Like, how could someone get one hit and it resulted into brain cancer? My second revelation came 1 year into my marine biology program, where I was thinking to myself, would this ever get boring? Because underwater life seems wide and broad in terms of spectrum of study, but would I enjoy this for the rest of my life? And I had a one on one talk with God, and He showed me myself in a doctor's coat working on somebody's brain. So that's where that innate passion came from for me to go ahead and do medicine.
Wow, wow, wow. So I can understand that because I mean that person being your friend and having that incident, and then as you said, the neck being slammed on the doorpost, and then developing cancer. I can imagine the process in your brain. That's a good way to start. I mean, it's unfortunate because it's a sad story, but it really led you down this path of now doing
Mhm.
microbiology. So I'm sure it's an interesting field. And you said something in one of the questions. You said you asked yourself, would this get boring, or would you enjoy it for the rest of your life? And I think a lot of people, uh, they're in professions that they're not enjoying. They're just enjoying it. And I think that's really, really an awesome thing. So I know I understand where the passion to be a medical doctor experience from, and now you're doing this so long, you've been studying for so long. I've known you all so many years and you've been in medical school. So hats off to you for that. So in terms of microbiology, so this incident has led you down this path, and how is it going for you so far in terms of your journey in this field?
It's good so far. I'm actually in my last semester of academic work, but my research is focused on Alzheimer's, which is a neurodegenerative disease that is found mostly in the elderly, but there has been a regression where it's seen now in people who are between 45 and 55, which was unheard of 20 to 30 years ago. So there has definitely been a shift in that particular pathway. So, following that research and defending, receiving my doctoral degree from Howard University, I'm looking to start my medical journey of actually studying neurosurgery.
Okay, that's good. That's good. It's really good, and you do something that I think for a lot of medical issues now, we're seeing the age gap moving, the age gap would only be specific for people over 50 years old. Now we're seeing even younger people in their 20s developing into certain types of diseases. I can understand where you're coming from. In terms of your challenges, though, because journey like this would have been, let me just, I'm still hearing a feedback. All right, let me just remove it from the screen one more time, just read it out. Let me just remove from
Okay.
the screen. All right, so we're talking to medical doctor in training, Chantal Graham Hyde, and she is studying microbiology and doing really well, and she's looking forward to advance in further studies. Let's talk to Andre Francis. Thank you so much for joining, bro, and for supporting the Awesome World Show. And we're talking to Doc Chantel Graham Hyde. Thank you so much. All right, so welcome back, Doc. In terms of the struggle and challenges that you've faced along this journey, what are some of those challenges? Because I'm sure this didn't come as a smooth sailing journey. What are some of the challenges you've faced so far,
I'm still
and
hearing
what are some?
the feedback.
All right. Let me try this again. All right, so we're still having a little bit of technical challenge. Let's see if we can override that one more time. So it's really good to have her on today as she talks about her journey in the medical field. And it's really good to have her talk about her journey and the incident that led her to start on the medical journey. And that was a very unfortunate incident back in Spanish Town, but she's here to talk about her story and her journey as a medical doctor. So let's have her again one more time on the platform. All right, welcome back. Welcome back to the platform, Doc. All right, so we're still having a little bit of. Are you hearing me well?
Yeah, but I don't know if the response will have the static in it.
All right. So let's just try one more time, and then we'll figure out something after that. So in terms of your the journey though that you have been on as a medical doctor, what are some of the challenges you have faced so far, and how have you been managing to cope with those challenges?
Two major challenges I will say. One, it's not seeing your family every day like everybody think. It would be easy, but it's challenging not seeing your family every day. That's what I was raised on. Family is everything. You go home every day, see mom, see sister, see dad. But in the real world of me being here in Washington, D.C. by myself, I only get to talk to them and see them on camera until it's December. However, that is a good thing. That is a good thing. And also a bad thing too, because sometimes our family can be a distraction to our path to education. But I know that that's what I want and that's what I'm going for. Another challenge I could say I faced was the cultural shock with certain expectations. As a colored student or as a foreign student, persons will view you different. Oh, you think you're smart, or you think you're this, or you think you're that. But you have to know whose you are and deep inside find that make a difference in and of the world.
Yeah, but of course, you're smart. If you have to, of course I have. I have to, you have to take credit for that. So, in terms of the length, does the length of your study ever become a challenge for you? I mean, it's 5 years and counting.
No, persons, especially family members, have been asking, why don't you stop? Have children, why don't you stop to get married? And I'm saying to myself, as well as to them, whenever God sees fit, that's when the time is right. This has always been my passion. So why stop now to facilitate what society wants of me or what my family wants of me? Because if God determined, oh, you're going to have a child 5 or 6 years down the line, my time is not God's time. So I'm working on His timing. Whatever He sees fit, that's what I'm working with.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, because having a family is going to change the dynamics of everything, and that's understandable. So I'm happy that you are still sticking to it, and you will see the end of the game soon. It's just a matter of being persistent and just continue to get those high grades. And I'm sure you've been getting some high grades, and that's really good. All right, so I'm gonna ask you to just share some words of advice to those listening and young people who will watch this program. In terms of career choices, what would be some of the advice you give to young people making certain career choices in terms of what they want to do in life?
Okay, so your path to greatness is never a one-way street. Sometimes you will have detours. Sometimes you will have, or the trials that come along. Because to be honest, my path was never a cut straight path. I had roadblocks, I had road stops. But as long as you know what you want as an individual and what will make you happy for the rest of your life, backed with your purpose, because oftentimes the job that is right for you is aligned with your purpose. So I think knowing your purpose at first will help you to cultivate what it is that you need to become in life in order to be an effective tool in society. Because you can be working and making figures, but are you really happy at the end of the day? Will that make you happy in the next 10 years? Or it's just for the now? So that's one thing you have to consider. Yes, friends and family might say, yeah, go be a lawyer, go be a doctor, but is that really what God is assigning? And I can definitely attest to that because I remember one Sunday we had an event at church, and I think this was just a major confirmation for me where we were having like Bible trivia. And I've always admired Ben Carson from I was a kid. I admired that man. And I did not know that there was a book called Gifted Hands by him. I have only heard of the movie, but the movie at that time were still developing because of the nature surrounding the sensitivity of his story. And I got that book that same Sunday. And to read it is one thing, but to see the character and how it made me feel after reading the book, it's a totally different story. And I would advise my young listeners or persons who are mature enough who might want to try something new. How about giving it a test run? You do an internship or you seek advice from those same persons. Get your feet wet, knowing what it takes to be that individual, knowing what it takes to be in that particular workspace. Have the experience so at least you know is this something I can really live up to? Is this something that will make me me 10 years from now? Because to be honest, a lot of persons will think 5 years, or I can't be in school for 10 years, or oh, I can't be in school for 11 years. If that's what you choose, that's what you will be adamant about finishing. The road is never how you start, is how you finish. And as a fellow believer in Christ, I say nothing is impossible because the Bible says it. Age is just a mere factor. You have people still in university at 77, 88, just getting a degree. So what says you? You're no different. Age is just a number. The depth of which you go to greatness, that is what matters. And always put God first, and He will always lead you. Our destiny helpers.
Wow, so inspiring, so inspiring. And I know the difference for a lot of people is timing. They would say, hey, I can't be 10 years, I can't be 5 years. So they try to do something shortcut, but really not their destiny. So I'm in agreement with what you're saying. If that's your destiny, then put it forward to the wheel and just get it done. And I'm sure God will give you the strength to go through with it. In terms of your you are in the US, and in terms of you spent a lot of time in Jamaica. Um, I know a lot of young people are lacking confidence. What are some of the strategies you use to stay confident and stay positive in line with your theme for the month of August? I'm young and bold and confident. What are some of the strategies you use to stay with confidence?
What are some of the attributes that build towards my confidence? First things first, I think my faith plays an integral role in that. Um, Faith is one thing, but applying your faith to your everyday situation becomes really hard. I know persons might say, oh, you're a Christian, so faith should just come like that. But imagine being told this would have been what, 6 years ago. I saw in a dream that I got a school. Never knew where the finances were coming from. Didn't have a passport, didn't have a visa. So the next one would be, okay, how am I going to get this? Or how am I going to get that? But I stepped up boldly by faith, and it's God's timing, put it that way. The second attribute is you have to be adamant and determined about what you want in life. Face it, you will have problems. Face it, you will have naysayers. Face it, you will have the hardest of days. There are days when I come in and all I do is just lie down and just reflect on the best days that are ahead and what I can do to make this day not be as dreadful as it can be. And it's okay to step to work. It's okay to step away from the job in and of itself to build your inner man back. Because sometimes you reject the inner man to build the outward character and fail to acknowledge that the person on the inside is important as well as the person on the outside. And lastly, be mindful of your surroundings, where I'm referring to your friends and your family members. Some people will laugh with you, but don't want the best for you. Some persons will deter you. Oh, you don't have to go to school that long. You can just do this and make the bare minimum. But as children of Christ, we should never settle for bare minimum. If He has gifted us with a gift, go above and beyond. Work, there are days when you're just gonna feel like you don't want to do it anymore, but you have to make that conscious decision. This is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do. If you're determined enough, God Himself will make certain things be a thing of the past. Like you'll be dwelling on, okay, my family members keep saying you need to stop to have a child. A family member keeps saying you're going to get old and you will never get married because you're always in school, you're always in school. Have you considered Sarah? There was no time limit on her pregnancy. And that is a remarkable story of faith. There is no time limit on when God is going to do something. So that is what we need to understand as a young people. You're 25, you're not old. Get out of it. You're not old. Even if you're 40, you're not old. You can be 100 and not be old. You learn every day. So does it mean that because you learn every day, you are old? No. Everybody learns every day. It's just a matter of you learning more in-depth stuff about things you want to do later in your years.
So true, so true. I'm happy that you mentioned all of that because a lot of times people put time factors on what they do in life and it prevents them from accomplishing what they really set out to accomplish. So I'm really, really happy that you mentioned that. In terms of as we wrap up, in terms of writing and music, because you're a wonderful singer and you also write. Tell us a little bit about your writing and your music and what can we expect from you? Because I'm looking forward to at least a single coming from you that will be great in the area. So tell us a little bit about that experience as well.
So I'm very passionate when it comes on to theater arts. Being an introvert, I think my music, I think dancing, acting, writing is where my perspective on Christianity or faith, how that has definitely propelled me in terms of music. There are experiences that I've had with Christ. There are experiences that I've had throughout my Christian journey that I write about, whether it be through music or through short plays, that I think would resonate with several young people. I remember one specific song that I wrote where it says, "For me to live, he went to Calvary. He bore the pain. He did that just for me. It's nothing good that I see the dawn of day, but just for me, he bore that pain." Oftentimes we think, I love my partner so much that I would never do this. I love my parents so much, so I'd never do that. But how much it is when it comes on to love, the compassion that Christ has shown for us to merely give him the bare minimum. What about serving him first and have everything come in alignment instead of the inverse? There's another song I remember specifically where I said, "Where would I be without his grace? Who would love me just to take my place? Oh, what a love and joy your cross replace. Oh, thank you, Lord, for saving grace." Who in your family is willing to go to the cross for you? Who is willing to take that burden to the cross for you? Imagine being in a service and your family member, they're facing a problem and they're fearful of going to the altar to put it down. Imagine them going to the cross to put it up on the cross just for you to live. That is in and of itself something that human beings will never, ever fathom or imagine. When he says, "Father, take this cup," he could have said anything else. "Take this cup away from me. Not my will, but thy will be done." He knew it was going to be hard, but that's a decision he made to make the best option because he know none of our family members, friends, or even our partners would have made that dreadful choice of going to that cross to save any of us.
Wow, so awesome. And you said it right. You said it right. I mean, as you were talking, I recall the situation. You must have heard about the two brothers from Jamaica who sadly passed away. A lot of people are speculating that, hey, possibly one jumped and the other jumped to save him. And as you mentioned, so many times in life, people are not willing to make certain sacrifices for us, and Christ did that for us, and really, really good that you wrote both it. And we're looking forward to some of these songs coming to the airwaves. We know you're in medical school, and the timing will just be right. When you write a good song, there's no time limit on it. It lives on from generation to generation. So we look forward to that. So it's really, really, really good to have you on. We would love to have you on again at some later time, especially when you graduate, so we can talk to you from the other side and welcome you officially as doctor in the medical field. So looking forward to a follow-up interview when you celebrate your success and your achievement as a medical doctor. So we want to wish you all the best in your studies. If you want to give any shout outs to anyone or any big ups, you can go ahead and do so before we close.
So, first things first, I want to give honor to God, like, really give honor to God. I'm grateful for everything that I've gone through, whether it be good, bad, or the indifference, because it has definitely molded me into the young lady that I am today. I'm thankful for my family for being always supportive, even if it's just a phone call or a text, it makes a difference. And lastly, I'd like to thank my community of friends and associates who have always stuck by me and helped me through the hardest of times when my family members were not around.
Wow, wow, that's good. That's good because trust me, you need so much support, mental support, all kinds of support, and to have family and friends that rally around you to bring you through this journey with God as the helm of that. It's really, really good. So we thank you for that. And wish you all the best and on this journey as you continue to impact the world. You're coming out to impact the world with your studies and with your passion for the medical field. We look forward to that. And congrats as well on your journey so far. All right, Doc. So all the best. Happy to have you on the show, and I look forward to a follow-up interview with you. I want to have a really wonderful rest of the day, and thank you so much for being my guest on the show.
Thank you and have a good one.
All right. Much blessings, much blessings to you. Take care, take care. All right, so there you have it. We are having some little technical challenges. So we hope I don't want to prolong the broadcast for too long because we want to check that out in the background. But so far, we thank you so much for being on with us today for this broadcast. It's really, really awesome to have you, and it's really, really good to listen to a young person going through 7 years of study to be a medical doctor. She could encourage our audience. She spoke about persons in the universities now, over 60, over 70, but they're still doing something. It means that it doesn't matter who you are watching tonight, you can do something with your life to improve it. Maybe it's a short course, maybe it's a bachelor's, a master's, you name it, a doctorate. You can do something to improve the standard of your life, and that's really, really good to know that she could have encouraged us along the way. The passion she has for the medical field is really tremendous, and we want to just continue to support her. And also, before I close, I really want to just ask everyone to remember the Virgin family. Every time I think of the tragedy, I ask myself, how would I deal with something like that? With two sons passing away tragically one time. I'm sure it must have been hard. It's all over the news. I've been watching the news feed. The second brother was found, I think, yesterday. The parents are in the US to make arrangements to get those bodies back to Jamaica. Really, really sad. But guess what? We have to give thanks for life. It could have been you, it could have been my family. we have to be thankful life and remember them, support them in whatever way you can, and just remember them in prayer. They are Christians, they are people who are serving God, but guess what? Tragedy happens everywhere and anywhere, and we just have to remember them in our prayers. So thank you so much for being my guest on the show tonight, Doc, and also for those who have joined on the Instagram platform, on Facebook, on YouTube. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We apologize for technical glitches, and we will try to sort them out for our next broadcast. We'll see you on our next live. We're going to be having a very special friend of mine in the Autumn Spotlight next Friday from Kingston, Jamaica, making history in the religious field, and we're really happy to have him in the house. Also on Wednesday, we're going to be going live again on Wednesday for the Awesome Travel on Wednesday. We're going to be having some special guests in the house next week, and we look forward to having those persons on, talking about the successes and the various benefits that you can get from becoming a part of the travel industry. So we're going to be telling you so much more about that. Any other information you need, you can reach out to me via any of my social media platforms, or you can send me an email, the awesome travel zone at gmail.com, and you can make all those bookings or any form of arrangement for you to really travel. See you soon and take care. My name is Dayle. It's really good to have you one more time sharing this live with us. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the day wherever you are. Thank you so much for your support. All the best.